Hello and welcome to Infinite Load Time. My name is Soviet Bless, and with me is the most infinite man in the world, Joel Young.
It's an infinite crisis on an infinite loading show. What's up, Obed?
I'm still loading. It's gonna be a running gag now. EA keeps giving us material, Joel. It's not my fault.
And those are some of the best performing episodes too for the back end side too. So it just, I guess you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, you guys like the EA rants. So here's another one. But welcome, guys. Joel, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good. I had a nice, good last weekend. To kind of freshen up. Of course, we had the Super Bowl, and we'll get into that a little bit. With a specific spot that was dropped. If you guys follow us on Twitter, you know that we retweeted it. We'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. Got to spend time with some family. Went to Universal Studios. I'd not been there in a while. Well, I shouldn't say a while. I went last year. But yeah, just a nice chill weekend. Didn't really do too much gaming. Playing Smash Bros. Again. That's just been my go-to. So I'm having fun on my Switch, and I highly recommend to you guys out there, if you have a Switch, get Super Mario Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Sorry, there's more characters than Mario in that game. A whole lot more.
Definitely, yeah, a whole lot more than
There's
Mario.
a whole lot more.
There's like 73 more than Mario.
Oh my gosh.
Joel.
There's a whole lot. I don't even play as Mario, but yeah, there's a whole lot of characters in that game. Great game. Highly recommend it. If you don't have a Switch at all, you need to get a Switch, and when you do get a Switch, you need to get this game because it's a good time.
Cool. How's the unlocking going?
It's going good, man. I keep unlocking every time I play. I'm unlocking at least one or two characters, so that's a plus.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I mean, you know me, Obed. You and I were both in the similar boat where we don't get to put too much time in, but when we can, we make the most out of it.
Yeah, cool. I did the same thing, dude. I spent my gaming weekend with Kingdom Hearts 3. Love it. Still, it's really good. So, what's interesting on this one, Joel? Not that the other ones were short, because say for example Kingdom Hearts 2 is a good 40-hour game, right? But the worlds seemed a lot smaller. I think that's what it is, and not that they're necessarily big on this one, at least so far, right? But there's definitely a different sense of scale, that things are bigger. So I spend basically, dude, all my time Saturday and Sunday, actually all of Sunday and about half of the time that I spent on Saturday. So collectively I spent around 7 hours. But it was all almost all the time at the Toy Story world, which
Wow.
is the first world you get. You get like right into it, man. I'm not gonna go into story details, but some of the things, mechanically and all that, I really want to talk about. And I did mention that there's this game gives you a lot of options compared to previous Kingdom Hearts games. This one gives you a lot more tools, both offensively and defensively. So there's Kingdom Hearts 1 especially, it's kind of a wall, right, to trying to get new moves and new attacks, and to get more defensive stuff. It's a wall, man. It's really hard. It's a constant wall where you have to, like, I can't put this on because I need to take this off, and it's just a constant struggle throughout the whole game. 2 was a lot more flexible, where you start with enough stuff to get you going, but then you keep adding and adding and adding and adding, and it gets to the point where, pretty much when you get to like level 60, you're pretty much invincible by then. And realistically speaking, I remember when I played it originally on PS2, I think I was around level 70, and I was playing on Proud when I first played it on PS2, and I was able to beat Sephiroth at level 70. So it's still, it definitely gave you the tools to get you going. Joel, this one is like, here's like all the tools. figure it out, and then it gives you a lot of stuff. I really, really love two things that I just want to talk about because this has been brought up by reviewers and whatnot. It's not necessarily spoilers, but they gave each keychain basically its own personality versus before you equipped a keyblade and you either hit harder, had more magic, was balanced. There was not necessarily a lot of special abilities attached to it. This one's very different. Whereas when you finish the first introduction level, you get a keyblade, and basically as you combo enemies, you basically fill out a meter, and when you fill out this meter, you get to if you have your regular keyblade, you enter like a second form, and it's basically like a magic enhanced form of your original state. But if you have, say for example, the Olympus key, it turns into a shield, and you start doing shield bashes and new moves, and it completely changes the game. Completely gives you basically an entirely new weapon, and I love that because it gives you a lot of variety that you did not have on previous games. So I really appreciate that. The other thing, Joel, is the rides. I don't know if you saw the some of the like Disney rides that you can summon on the game.
Yes.
So that's really cool too. Even if you just summon them and you just right away use the ending move for them, they're really cool because they're super flashy, so they look really nice. I think, to be honest with you, so far my favorite is the river rafts, or where they're in the basically the raft, and you go around on the raft, and then at the end you get to ride what you made, and that's really cool. It looks really nice. So far I've seen I think 4 or 5 of them. So I got the pirate ship, the raft, the teacups, the carousel, and the Big Thunder Mountain. So that's it. They're so cool, man. It looks really good, man. Highly recommend this game. Again, I'm having a blast. And I'm really looking forward to putting more time on it. Other than that, Joe, so I started investing on this thing.
Oh, that's it. It's over, guys. If you listen who can't see, you listen to the audio version, that man has a Nintendo Switch Pro controller in his hand.
So
look out.
I don't have a Switch. I bought a Pro controller.
What's happening?
And the reason I brought up two reasons why I bought a Pro controller, right? Because I wanted to get a Pro controller when I get my Switch, right? The other one is that it's on sale at Best Buy for I think $56. So versus the regular $70 that you basically pay for it. They're kind of hard to find, Joe. Like no Targets in my area have it in stock. Best Buy only had a couple. So I went out and it was like, you know what? I'll grab one of these things, even if I don't buy the Switch. So far, dude, I think I'm gonna buy a Switch tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. I really don't want to, and I don't want to because I don't want to buy a Switch, because I do want to buy a Switch, but it's like, dude, I have Kingdom Hearts. It's gonna take like 60 hours of my life. Then Resident Evil 2, and then Devil May Cry is coming out in 29 days. Cause today the demo dropped on PSN. So public service announcement: if you're planning to play or check out this game, there's a demo on PSN that just dropped today. Game comes out in 29 days. I'm really excited. But I think I'm just gonna grab the Switch, and even if I just get a couple games so I can play with my wife and my daughter and just give it a try, and I'll do that. But like you,
that's
like
it.
You said,
you're invested.
Yeah, I'm invested. I'm done. Screw this.
It's over, guys.
My money.
That's it. It's not even. It's done. It's not even like you don't have it physically on you, but it's over. Next time we have an update from Obed, he'll be talking to us about his Nintendo
Switch. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Happening.
Exactly. Nintendo actually put out a note today, Joel, that starting on the 15th next week on Friday. They're gonna have a bundle that will include a $35 credit to the eShop.
Oh wow!
But here's the thing, right? Right now, Target has 50% off a game when you buy a Switch. So I would rather just do that and get 50% off Mario Kart than get $35 off of the eShop. Because what am I going to buy at the eShop? I want Mario Kart.
Oh, I love Mario Kart, man.
Yeah, you know what game I was thinking of getting for it? Remember when we went to CEO Otaku, the Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle?
Yep.
Yeah, so I thought of getting that for the Switch.
That's a good choice.
We'll see. Yeah. I think I'll get that. Also, Joe, I don't know if you saw any of the gameplay that got put out this week for Jump Force. Remember that game looked really funky when it got revealed at E3? Man, that game looks sick, bro. It looks sick. They put out some gameplay on the PlayStation YouTube channel, and it looks great. That game looks like a lot of fun, man. Plus, they added JoJo this week. They added Jotaro and Dio. So we're getting JoJo. And so I don't know. I can't remember who is. I'm not sure if CyberConnect is making this game, or if it's Namco Bandai internally, but whoever's involved, they're doing a great job because the game looks great. So, it caught my eye, and I was like, oh, that looks very interesting. Now, I think it's at 44 characters right now, and they're planning to just keep adding characters. So, we'll see where that goes. But Joel, yeah, you mentioned Super Bowl. It was a boring game. I spent most of my time on YouTube while watching the Super Bowl quotes. But the thing of note that happened for us necessarily was the TV spot for Avengers Endgame. Not much to say, but also a lot to say, Joel. What do you think?
Great TV spot. I mean, I wasn't sure if they were going to have this TV spot and then say at the end, watch a full new trailer on YouTube or whatever, right? Because that can be the case for a lot of these TV spots or Marvel in general. They did not do that. They only put out this 30-second TV spot. If you want to watch online, it's the same thing, 30-second TV spot. It was really solid. Typically, with the Super Bowl, whenever Marvel does have a TV spot, it's usually first commercial break, which is why I watched from the beginning of the game, because I know that usually Marvel's right in the beginning, and they were this time. Yeah. Captain Marvel was the following commercial break, so they hit it off pretty early. But this one, man, like it shows a lot more of that, depression and aftermath of what's going on from Avengers Infinity War. These guys are in specific Captain America's in
therapy.
Therapy, yeah. He's in a group talk, talking about where do we go from here. And it's funny. It reminded me of Comic-Con because I remember I mentioned it to you, Obed, and you could find articles of it online that they actually had a Infinity War therapy sessions booth at Marvel had. It was the funniest thing at Comic-Con.
Go?
I didn't. I took a picture with Hulk. They had a Hulk hug, and you could take a picture with. Yeah. So I took a picture with him, giving me a hug. Make you feel a little better. But so that's a really big thing. Of course, which Avengers they show. You have Black Widow with her blonde hair. You've got obviously Rocket, and then you get the shot of Nebula and Tony Stark, which. That specific shot, I think, is maybe the most important to some degree from a spoiler standpoint. Shot in the entire trailer.
Yep.
I'm sure you probably have seen similar to me, Obed, with the nano suit. What's going on there? If you remember in Avengers Infinity War, Stark is wearing this. Spoiler, guys, the movie's been out for a while. but he's
I think it's common knowledge that it's the nano suit.
Absolutely. So this guy has the nano suit that's always on the outside of his. He wears on the outside of his clothes that he can easily transform into his suit. Well, at the end of Infinity War, things go a little crazy and. His health is not in the best of shape, and he's kind of stranded out there in space. So
and the nano suit's kind of busted too.
Nano suit's kind of busted, but if you look at that one shot, I mean, it's from what it looks like. It looks like that nanotech is literally under his shirt, not on top of his shirt, which leads you. This is all speculation, guys, but there's a very strong possibility that he actually has to reincorporate that into his body to help keep himself alive. Because remember, they're low on resources. His health is. I mean, the dude's literally hemorrhaging. Blood. If you're, it doesn't take us to know as a doctor that you would literally die without a blood transfusion.
Yeah, I was thinking that probably he's using. Yeah, he's probably using the nanosuit as a sort of like tourniquet or something, right?
Exactly.
So he's using his suit to prevent bleeding, which is totally. I mean,
it makes sense.
Come on, it's not totally possible, but you know what I mean.
It makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. In universe,
exactly.
This sort of thing, it's probably to be expected. My thing with that shot, Joel, is that is he going to, which most likely this will happen. Will he be incorporating the nanosuit with some of the cyborg alien tech that Nebula has, and just make the suit even better?
That would be awesome, because I feel like they're gonna go a little more like Bleeding Edge. But if you can take like a really cool origin for that Bleeding Edge armor, like it would be cool if you made it partially alien, because then it would make sense why. Stark's always thinking about exactly. Well, he's always thinking of advancing. He's already fought Thanos at his level, and he knows what happened that last time he fought him. So he's obviously thinking, like, he's not thinking about even just survival. Like he's thinking about how can I win. And I think it would make sense for him to try and amplify himself by using some of the alien tech that's there. So yeah, that's a great point, Obed. I wouldn't see why not.
Yeah, I think that to me caught my eye. That shot at the airport was really cool. And of course we all saw that Cap's getting his shield back.
Or is it Cap? People have said that. Or is it Cap? Is someone else holding that shield?
I mean, it kind of looks.
It looks like Cap because
he's
got the gloves and stuff. But anybody can wear any man can wear the suit.
But it looks like Cap when he's
marching
out. Yeah, like his haircut and whatnot. So, but yeah, I totally get it. I mean, will it be Cap at the end of the movie? That's a totally different story,
for sure.
But man, hype's real, dude.
Have you seen the synopsis that was officially dropped for this?
I have not.
Okay, I'll read it off for you guys here on the podcast. It's very short. It just simply is this. After the devastating events of Avengers Infinity War, the universe is in ruins due to the efforts of the Mad Titan, Thanos. With the help of remaining allies, the Avengers must assemble once more in order to undo Thanos' action and restore order to the universe once and for all, no matter what the consequences may be in store. So they're making it very clear they're trying to undo the events. To bring everything back to balance. Yeah. So that it's a very, very clear synopsis on that. Of course, no matter what the consequences, it's like wink, wink. People are going to die or stay dead. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We're pretty soon, Joe. We're all a couple months away, man.
April.
So we're about a month away from Captain Marvel, right?
Yep. This time it will be literally on this day, a month from now. I'll be in theaters watching Captain Marvel. I already got my seats reserved.
And then a month after that, that's it. It's done. Endgame.
That's right.
Yeah. Speaking of Endgame, Joel, we did talk about how the game ended for one James Gunn a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And we also speculated where this could go, and we sort of hit the nail right in the head on this one, man. So while we were recording last week, it was announced that James Gunn will write Suicide Squad 2 and potentially direct. Is there an update to that, or are we still sitting on that?
So the wording is as of January 30th, James Gunn in talks to direct. So they said that Warner Bros. have hired him to write, which we knew, but he is still in talks to direct. So more than likely, he will direct the film. Of course, that's all jumping to the conclusion that it all finishes talks, but that means that they're at a place that they want him to direct the film.
Yeah. This was 100% the right move for both parties here. For James Gunn to get back into the business,
Yes.
and for WB to save the DCEU. Here comes your guy. Please let him do his stuff. Don't send an executive.
Right.
Don't send the guy that the Kevin Smith guy with the giant spiders and all this crap. Don't. Just let him do his stuff. He knows what he's doing. He's proving it.
Yeah.
He's proving it. He brought D tier characters and made them probably the most popular Marvel characters next to like Captain America and Iron Man.
Yes.
And Black Panther, because Black Panther it's a big deal. It's probably Guardians is the next big thing. So I think he's the guy. He's the guy to save DC. Or not DCEU, I'm sorry, Worlds of DC. Since now, Batman and Joker and all, like even the Batman universe itself is fractured into different universes. So just calling it the DCEU anymore doesn't make sense. Worlds of DC doesn't even make sense, but whatever. I think this is great news, Joe. Because James Gunn, we talked about it. We're not going to go into the weeds on it again, but we were very clear that, yes, it's people need to man up for mistakes of the past, but at the same time, you can judge me, who I am today, for something I did or said, 10 years in the past, 15 years in the past, because we all change. It's part of life. So at the same time, I think James Gunn is a talented writer-director. I think he's the absolute best, perfect fit for Suicide Squad. And I am sort of kind of excited for this, as long as they reel up Jared Leto a little bit. If he's going to be in the movie.
If he's even back, we'll see.
Because Morbius is a thing, right?
Yep.
So we'll see where that goes. So any other thoughts on this, man?
Absolutely. When you're looking at like the parallels, I don't like to compare, but you look at the parallels of the Guardians of the Galaxy and you look at Suicide Squad. Obviously, one is like a villains for hire kind of situation, and then on the other is just a bunch of renegades that come together, but personality-wise, these are not your typical kind of heroes. These aren't the kind of guys that are flying around with capes and whatever. And so I think for the type of style, like I know there's a lot of people who are like, James Gunn's amazing. I'm like, James Gunn is amazing in the context of what we've seen, and I think that's why we expect this to be well, because it's very, very familiar territory when you look at what Guardians is and what we would like Suicide Squad to be. So I think it just makes sense for him to shift into this project. And, of course, having the same person who writes this film also to direct it, I mean, that just makes it clear that the vision that he has, he can actually execute. Now, again, like you said, Obed, let's hope the suits stay out of it. Let's hope the big wig, that doesn't step in and say, well, I want it to be like this and that. Creative liberty. If you're saying that you're hiring this person to do the job, let them do the job. Of course, there's always little things here and there I get, but generally speaking, you need to allow this person to make this movie. Don't come in and start literally butchering this film, because I'm not going to say that it won't be James' fault of that, because he could, of course, write a terrible movie and the movie could be terrible. We don't know. Yeah. But with the expectation that's going to be, something that he really wants to do, and we expect it to be as genius and creative as his past work has been with Guardians, like, we know the past history of Warner's has not been so great when they step into these movies. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see if this guy even does actually direct this movie. But I'm just happy to see the redeeming trait of, somebody who, in my personal opinion, it makes perfect sense why he was stripped away from Guardians 3 at the time of what was going on.
Yep.
I think, like, I'm looking at Disney and I'm like, look, it makes sense why they did what they did. There are consequences in life for stuff. I get that to some degree. At the same time, just as you said, Obed, that doesn't mean you should be down and out for the count. He lives with that. He understands what happened there, but that doesn't mean he shouldn't be able to also move forward in his career. in this circumstance, I think it's a good opportunity, and we'll see what comes out of it. If someone, let this person do something really incredible here, and it's a whole new, fresh slate, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it deserves a second chance. I mean, jokes are a joke. I mean, yeah, a little raunchy, a little out of place, but it wasn't Bryan Singer type of level stuff.
I won't compare wrong is wrong. That's for Joel Young. But there was some. If I was to pull up those articles, I definitely found myself very uncomfortable, and it's wrong. But yes, like you were saying, Obed, there's a difference between saying something and doing something, and from what we understand in this situation, it was some very stuff that just didn't reflect Disney's probably values.
Absolutely.
And obviously now it's I think that lesson has been learned.
Absolutely. But yeah, whoever's digging out old tweets, man, you guys suck. Same thing happened to Kevin Hart with the Academy Awards, and his wasn't even like, dude. I've had worse messages on PSN than that.
Yeah, I don't think with what's going on there, and that's another whole conversation. But I think what's going on there, they're not going to have another person host the Oscars as things look right now.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be like someone like super safe.
I don't think the person would want to do it. Is my point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because then they'll probably get stuff.
They're risking somebody pulling something out.
So, getting something dug out.
Yeah.
It's like, here's this comedian 30 years ago when they started in a little rundown mom and pop comedy place in New York and saying these jokes. All right.
Yeah.
I understand, right? And we talked about the James Gunn situation quite a bit previously, but come on, guys. Come on. I mean, yeah, whatever. But anyhow, let's move on to some jolly gaming news, Joel. Joel, do you have a chance to look in hence our title for this episode? Did you have a chance to look at any of the footage that was posted out there from many places about the Anthem demo?
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Just sitting there, infinite
loading, corrupt hard drives on PCs, the faces not syncing, bugs, right? Bugs apart, right? Because the game's not out, so I cannot judge the final product for a buggy demo or a buggy build. I don't know if this build is even current. Maybe this build is from 4-6 months ago, and they just decided to run a server test with it. Whatever the reasoning behind it is, I don't know. But it is not the final product, so we can't judge it. But still, infinite load times. I thought it was a pretty good gag, and might as well put it out there. But what do you think of the of what I got out there for the demo, Joe?
No, I think it's a fine, like from what I saw, like when actually like it's unfortunate that what the headline is, and we have fun with that, but yeah, no, it actually looked fine. Like I'm looking, I'm like, okay, like it looks similar to kind of stuff that we saw from the E3 demos and whatever. Like it wasn't anything that makes me go, oh my gosh, I have to go get this game. Yeah. Personally, but it looks like for those who are into it, like I'm not gonna. We joke about the load time, but it definitely, should the product work, it looks like it will be fine.
Yeah, I don't know if that's an issue with Frostbite with the engine, because I remember and I talked about it when I played when Battlefront 2 first came out. The load times for online stuff was atrocious. It was just, you just sit there. I would go and brew coffee and come back and it was like, oh, match is starting in 30 seconds. And I'm back just in time. So I think it's there's something going on with that engine that I think the way it handles assets or loading assets, it's an issue. So there's definitely a technical issue to that. But yeah, like what you said, it looks competent. It looks fine. I'm not jumping off my chair to just go ahead and pre-order this game. I'll play it maybe if it's free on PS Plus. That I wouldn't mind. Which, by the way, we'll talk about PS Plus in a second. But
Absolutely.
it looked competent. I mean, it looked fun.
But it didn't make you feel like you had to go buy it, right? That's what you're saying. Like when you're talking about being free, it wasn't. And this is one of those games that unfortunately was super hyped up, and from that perspective, it's kind of a letdown, I think.
Yeah, I think the art design's really bland.
Yeah.
So I'm a sucker for art design. So if you get me at art design, even if your game has technical issues or whatever, I will give you a free pass on certain things. But yeah, I mean, it looked competent. Where it's probably going to be of some competition to Destiny and the sorts. But well, we'll see. We'll see how that comes out, man. But one thing that I think EA, Joel, knocked it out of the park, man, on Monday, and this got leaked late on Sunday night. But some my understanding is that last week some both people in the industry and influencers, I hate that term, but yeah, influencers went to see a game by EA, by Respawn's or EA's Respawn team, basically the guys behind Titanfall. And it was a game called Apex Legends, and basically this is a 60-player battle royale, squad-based battle royale, which is different from the Fortnites and the PUBGs and the whatnots out there. And yeah, this game was announced Monday and released same day, man. And it's actually freaking working. Like, there was 1 million players and day one. Like, within 8 hours, they reached 1 million players. No issues. The thing's working, Joel. It's a hit.
That's the way to do it.
It was #1 on Twitch. They knocked down Fortnite finally. I actually like this game way better than Fortnite, even though it is a first-person shooter. But just the aesthetic, the fact that it's squad-based, some of the weapons that I saw, the movement, all that, just, dude, they brought it. Nice. So, man, kudos to Respawn on releasing this thing, man. This thing looks pretty nice. So, I mean, it actually even piqued my curiosity. It's like, I should download this and try it out just to see how it feels, because I kind of like what, the aesthetics and the map and all that.
Yeah, like that's the thing about these, like, MMOGs is, like, man, like, if I had more time, I feel like it's something that I really would put into it, because it is, like, when you execute this kind of stuff well, it is a lot of fun, and has like a long-term. When I say long-term, like maybe a good, year or two, if that's good, of success, where you can be engaged for a while and just keep jumping in. I mean, I don't have much time in my hands, so I don't think it's for me. But like looking at it, it looks like a solid creation.
Yeah, I'm really happy for this, guys. Only question I had when this came out is like, was this the battle royale that was supposed to be part of Battlefield 5, or is that going to be something different that DICE is working on?
True.
Or is this it? In my opinion, EA should just run with it, because it's working, right? Whatever.
Yeah, it looks great.
It's a fun game. People are liking it. Impressions were very positive, very popular. And this was one of the few great things that EA's done in a while, man. So free to play, anyone can play it. Again, you just pay for your cosmetics, costumes and whatnot. But yeah, pretty cool. They did say though that that they were working on Titanfall 3, and it eventually became this project. They are planning on keep adding content throughout the whole year, throughout the release year. And they did say that Titanfall 3 for the moment is not happening.
Oh wow, okay.
Which opened another door, and people asked, "What about the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? Aren't you guys making it?" Which it was revealed that it is not this team that's making that game. It's a new team that Respawn created to work on that project. So to call Jedi Fallen Order a game made by the Titanfall guys, it would not be 100% accurate.
Yeah, it's brand new.
Yeah, so it's a brand new team. I'm assuming that, of course, Vincent Pella is going to have some oversight on the project. But it makes us... I'm curious to see how that game's going to come out. Because since they're focusing on getting this game launched and working, how that game, one, how is it coming along, and two, how is it going to play? So I guess we'll find out possibly at around E3. So game's supposed to come out this year, so we'll see, man.
For sure.
Yeah. Joel, there was some news that Xbox or Microsoft is looking to expand the Xbox Live services into other devices, and on a leaked document that Microsoft was putting together for GDC, it got revealed that on the next SDK for Xbox Live will feature the capability of integrating Android, iOS, and the Switch into Xbox Live. Big news, if you ask me, but not as big of a news that some people are making it to be. I think that Microsoft is definitely looking to convert at least part of their gaming division into a services division, much like they've done with Office and other products. But I don't think this is going to be like, oh, we're going to get Halo on the Switch, or we're going to get Zelda on the Xbox. No, this is not going to be this. I think this is going to be more of an integration tool for the Switch to be able to talk to Xbox Live and communicate with players. Maybe even add a voice chat feature, things like that. I think this is going to be a network feature that would be integrated into those devices, not necessarily a platform. So again, big news, because having Xbox Live integration with other devices is a big deal, right? If you can integrate your iOS, gaming account for, say, PUBG, or your Epic account for Fortnite that you use on your iPhone or iPad, and you can integrate it with Xbox Live and crossplay and do all this stuff and voice chat. Yeah, that's awesome. But I don't think this, there was an article by Game Informer, and they were going all bananas. It's like, what if Zelda comes to the Xbox? It's like, Nintendo hasn't even put out a proper Mario game on a phone. I mean, they made Super Mario Run, which is a Mario game, right?
It's good,
but it's good, but it's not a proper.
It's not a full, yeah.
Exactly, it's not a proper Mario full controller Mario game.
No.
So, to think that that you'll get Banjo-Kazooie back on Nintendo platforms, or or get Mario on the Xbox, you're nuts if you're thinking that. That's not gonna happen. At least not for now.
Yeah, at least not for now.
Yeah, and the ways they're going, the way things are going, Joe, based on the numbers that we got, sales wise for the Switch versus what's out there for Xbox right now, like it doesn't look good for Microsoft this generation. I know that, again, they're in it to win it next gen. they're done. I think the Switch is gonna pass the Xbox in the next, 4 or 5 months, and I don't think Nintendo is in the need to expand their properties outside of what they've been doing on mobile, which I think it's genius. I mean, even if some of their products are not great on mobile, their strategy is safe, and it's working. But Joel, what do you think about this, man?
No, I think it's clear for us to understand that this is an extension of the Xbox Microsoft brand. It's by no means like something as innovative or revolutionary as some people might think of it to be. I'm glad you put it in context a bit about what this is going to be capable of doing. It's really just like you're talking about, you're talking about these extra group chat abilities, maybe having it to cross over with other apps that are games that also are full-fledged games on other Microsoft Xbox devices and whatnot. There's limitations to it right now. There's not to be some type of game changing. I have an Xbox on my phone now, or I have Xbox at my fingertips on my Switch. It's nothing of that nature, and I think that's where people need to kind of get their head straight. It's an extension of the Microsoft brand. It's an extension of what they're doing with Xbox, but it's not it's not changing anything in the game. It's just giving you another ability. It's another cool hobby extension that you have here going on. So yeah, I'm glad you put it in context there. But I mean, good for Microsoft. Like, it's a good way of getting their brand out there and getting people who are already excited, Xbox owners, to have this cool new feature. If I'm an Xbox fan, I'm happy that I have this new feature. For other games that I play. If I'm a casual person, then it kind of also makes me feel pretty cool too. But it's nothing that's I think for people to go running over the mountain.
Yeah, and we saw again. There's a lot of overreacting on the internet, and you have to keep your head on your shoulders and say, it's like, okay, so what this is going to be potentially, and you can't start assuming that they're gonna have like this blockbuster deal, and games are gonna just cross over, because they're not.
Right.
They're not.
Right.
At the most you'll probably get what's the Minecraft guy? The what's his name? Is it Stan?
Yeah,
Something like that. Maybe you'll get him on Smash Bros. Or something like that. I mean, it's probably gonna be something very simple. This is very interesting. Also, the what this is pointing to the future, right? And we'll talk next gen PlayStation here in a second, but it's pointing at Microsoft trying to expand the service as much as they can, because I think if the next Xbox just flops, they're probably just gonna go and offer Xbox Live as a service to multiple platforms, and that's gonna be pretty much it. There were some sales statistics that came out late last week, Joe. I don't know if you had a chance to see them, but just the PlayStation Network. So basically, all the PSN sales between basically PS Plus subscriptions and what people bought on PSN was bigger than the entirety of the gaming division at Microsoft.
Wow.
So their profits were bigger than that, and they were bigger than the entirety of Nintendo as well. So they're the underdog. It's funny because I heard someone on a video somewhere saying that going into next gen, Sony is the underdog. It's like, Sony's the underdog. I mean, they've outsold the Xbox 2-1, and they're making crazy, insane numbers, and now they're the underdogs. I mean, they're the underdogs because Microsoft bought a bunch of studios that are going to take 4 years to make stuff.
That's talking hypotheticals. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts
exactly.
are PlayStation has outsold not even doubling the amount, even more than that.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 to not. It's like 2 1/3 to 1 right now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So
Yeah.
that's facts, not hypotheticals.
And then the growth on the Switch also cannot be
Oh, yeah.
understated, because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the Nintendo is well on its way to have another hit like the Wii. Probably not as big as the Wii, but it's pacing well. So it's going to like I said, more than likely outsell the Xbox One here in a few months. And that's kind of, the Switch's been out for 2 years now. 2 years, I think. Not even two. Is it 2 years or 3 years? No.
No, I think
Switch came out in 2017, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
2 years.
yeah. So 2 years now in March. So not even 2 years, and Xbox's been out for 5 years. Yeah, man. First impressions, dude. Seriously, it all goes back to TV.
Oh,
To the TV thing
yeah.
for that reveal. So, yeah, we'll see. Things are heating up, Joe. Things are heating up because we also have some news that PlayStation patented a new way to process backwards compatibility, and based on this patent, they found out a way to properly integrate the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 4 library into a backwards compatible system. So this all points to the PS5 being fully backwards compatible, and what's the big thing here is that they're also teasing a remastering by emulation sort of system, which is basically you play a PS2 game, it now upscales to 4K or whatever.
Yeah.
So huge. If Joel, and this is a big if, right? If Sony, if this is as it sounds, right?
Right.
This is huge.
Oh, yeah.
It's done. There's hundreds of millions of PS2 games still out there. There's probably a couple 100 million games, PS1 games out there. And I'm not talking titles. I'm talking actual discs out there in the wild. Plus, you probably got another, 160 for the PS3, another 200 or so for the PS4. If this is as it sounds, right, and I can take my copy of Metal Gear Solid 4 and I'll put it on a PS5, and the PS5 will play Metal Gear Solid 4, which is a PS3 game and
Right.
hasn't come out for anything, and it'll up-res it to 4K and it'll stabilize the frame rate. If this is as good as it sounds, that's it.
It's over.
Microsoft really needs to bring it. Really needs to bring it next gen, because this is a huge deal in my opinion. Now that being said, there's the possibility of Sony just playing, being the wise guys and saying, "Oh yeah, it's backwards compatible as long as you buy it through PSN," and that to me is a big problem, Joe.
Of course.
So they need to be careful on how they implement this. But what are your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, I think the backwards compatible thing, I'm not gonna say it's a must, but at the same time, I want to be careful what I say.
At this point, I think it's a must because of how well Microsoft's been doing it.
Yeah,
I think they need to bring some sort of
right, and I think it's the right kind of ammunition for your next gen. It's the right kind of thing to feature, because we were just talking about the TV thing we were talking about with Microsoft. When you highlight the wrong features when you launching a new platform, that's a problem. I think this is the right place to put your footing in about traditional games that people love, and you're trying to tell them to get the new thing, but still also giving them the ability to play the old stuff. I think that's just every fan wants that. I don't think there's anyone out there who doesn't want that with the next gen. So why not give the people what they want? Yeah, I think this is something that it's like if they don't have it, they can still have a fantastic console, but I think it's the right feature to really incorporate. So I'm happy with the news of them really pushing this thing. I just curious to see how it all works out. I'm curious to see what the final, outside these rumors, when it's fully announced, what does it really mean? Is it fully backwards compatible? To what extent? I'm gonna be fascinated to see the full reveal when the time comes.
Yeah, yeah. That again, going back to being able to grab my copy of
Yeah.
my PS3 or a PS2 game that I would still have, like grab a copy of my Street Fighter collection. That's one of the only places where you can play Hyper Street Fighter 2 without the crazy graphics. Back
Right.
with the original graphics is with that anniversary collection that came out for PS2. So if it'll give me the ability to put in my PS2 disc, play the game, that's it. No frills, no questions asked.
For real.
That's awesome. Same thing goes to PS3 games. I have, I don't know, 40 PS3 disc games around. If I can put Final Fantasy 13 and it'll upres it to 4K and it'll run at 60 frames, that's beautiful. And I will. To me, Joel, that would make a big difference. There has been several times where I want to play a PS3 game, and I do have my PS3 plugged in here in this room. But say if I want to play a PS3 game in the living room,
You have the disconnects and all
then
that.
it's a big deal. Yeah, exactly. Also, just the DualShock 4 is such a superior controller compared to the DualShock 3 that it's like, why would I use this controller? Seriously.
Oh yeah.
I was like, you don't notice the flaws until you actually play with one that's been improved drastically, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so
and then you don't want to go back.
no, yeah, you sweat it. But big deal, Joel. Again, if this information is correct and if this is true, we'll see where it goes. More news. My prediction again, by the end of the year, we'll know more. This is probably going to be 2020. We'll probably hear again Xbox probably summer E3 ish. You heard it here first. My prediction is that it's going to be called Xbox Infinite. It's going to be the next console. So there you go. But yeah, next gen, dude. The more we hear, the more excited I get. And I think this is probably going to be, Joel, the first time in a gaming generation where I will probably get it on release. I usually try to wait as much as I can, but I think I'm just gonna jump right in, and we'll see what comes out of this. So
I'll be interested to see as well. I feel that way myself right now.
Yeah,
I feel that confident in what the next gen is looking to be, but we'll see. I've not done it before either, Obed. So that'd be a first for me. I usually wait a couple years. So this would be a big step.
Yeah, definitely big deal. So again, if I can take Kingdom Hearts 3 up-res it to 4K 60, because not even the Pro, like even on the Pro, the frame rate's choppy. It runs at a weird resolution. It's like a 1296p or something. It's crazy. So yeah, I mean, again, if I can do that, that's phenomenal. So here's to hoping that that's true and get me more excited and people get me to spend my money. So, but Joel, that's what I got. If you don't have anything else, man, just wrap it up.
Now, I got one quick item I just want to address. I should have brought it up when we were talking about DC for a second. But, Obed, I'm sure you saw about Henry Cavill putting a post out, a little cryptic of him working out. It says when you work out with this guy, Superman, something along those lines.
He was slow.
Yeah, he's so, yeah. It's a big guy. The most interesting thing about that post is the timing, and it very much looks like he's in like a Warner place or somewhere specific with that. Rumors are, Obed, that he is in talks to return for a Man of Steel sequel, which is the movie that we've been asking for. Yeah. We'll see if it happens. The thing that, remember, I was speculating that the reason he was kind of pulling this, not signing an extension, was that he wanted to have more creative control or something, whatnot. There's been back and forth reports. There was a report that came yesterday saying no, he is not looking to have to be able to read a script in advance or a voice with the director. There's another one out there saying, well, actually, he is, including that. I think there's to an extent. I'm not saying that the guy wants full control or something, but I think to some extent he wants to make sure he's signing on to something that's going to be good, not coming back for something that's going to be a disaster.
Yeah,
I think he's a smart guy in that regard. But Obed, the thing about this whole conversation is that there's rumors about the whole point of why we found out this news is that he was going to be in the end credits of Shazam, and that supposedly he was removed or that just wasn't included. There's basically the rumor right now is that the end credits scene that they did shoot for Shazam is that I guess throughout the movie, like Billy joking with his friends about coming in with his big friend or whatever into school, and they want of course people wanted to show up to school as Shazam or something along those lines for whatever, I forget what the rumor is, but essentially supposedly at the end of the movie he shows up to school with the big guy and it's Superman, but instead of them actually showing Henry Cavill's face because they didn't know if it would be him, they have a body double just kind of showing without showing the face, showing the body of Superman. Okay. So it's possible that was maybe a stand-in, hoping that they would get then Henry Cavill come back in and just shoot something that they could kind of force that into the shot in post-production or reshoot entirely.
You can CG his face over someone else.
CG his face.
Because that will work fantastic the last time they did it.
Great job, Justice League. That was funny. But that's like the rumors going around right now. I just thought I'd put it out there because because of what's transpired this last week, I wouldn't be surprised if next week, breaking news, he signed on for Man of Steel 2.
Good.
But we'll follow up if we hear more.
Yeah, cool. Also, PSA, PS Plus this month is great.
Oh my gosh.
For Honor, Hitman on PS4, and then Metal Gear Solid 3 on PS3. If you've never played that game, highly recommend it.
So good.
Endure the technical stuff and the tiny controller. But I highly recommend that everyone plays this game because it's fantastic. So, big deal. But yeah, cool. Good stuff, man. All right,
man. Let me send it home for you. Guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to listen to us here on Infinite Load Time. I'm keeping it open for the episode.
Do it. It's the episode.
Guys, we want to make sure you go ahead and give us a follow on our social media. So give us a follow at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Please be subscribed to our show. Our podcast versions you can be subscribed to on Google Play, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, and TuneIn Radio. You can also be subscribed to our video version here on our YouTube channel. And we always welcome your feedback. So go ahead and shoot a message to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your questions, comments, feedback. If it's a question, maybe it will be brought up here on the show. We'll see. But, guys, we always thank you for taking your time out of your day to listen to us here on the show, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Thanks again, guys, and we'll see you next time.